Erin Hart.
So that was my voodoo doll. They changed Jenner. I know he says his name different. How do you say it? Jenner. I call him Jenner. I like how she goes, he is Jenner. I'm like, what's going on there? Let's find out. But yeah. So that was my doll, but she's back together. If you look at her face, it kind of looks like Andy Dick's face a little. I made her. I didn't mean to make Andy Dick on her face. Not that way. But it's reminding me, okay, I'm up here, you're reminding me of I had a black Barbie when I was little. And I've always been very destructive with my toys. Very destructive. And it's okay, she fell apart because my Barbie's always big. But I had this black Barbie because my dad's a hippie and I was raised in an all-white little town in Ohio. And he wanted to give us, like, you know, whatever that word is, you can tell me. Like, I'm not good with that. But, it's called vocabulary. No, not me. Not me, student here. But she had really soft legs, and I had an oral fixation, like, you know, kind of things. I would shove things in my mouth. And, her legs were so soft, and I used to chew her. And I chewed her to the bone, you know. And so I had a gimp black Barbie, and my sister had like these pristine toys that were just, you know, like perfect. And all my Barbies, you know, get them like hairdos and, you know, tattoos, they have sleeves and, you know, gimps and like a missing arm, and I'd always try to play with their heads to the point where they were like this. So I'd get mad at my sister's Barbie, so I'd go in there and be like, and they'd have nice wobbly heads, so I would just rip them off and stick them on until they're all like perfect, but no neck. No neck Barbies. Goddamn toys. But I have a son. Yay! I'm so excited because it's fall and he went back to school. Yay! So I have a teenager son. It's not just like a son. Like this teenager, like greasy, sits on the couch all day, plays video games, and mouth off. You know, so it's like, go to school. Get out of here. Go learn. This is great. But yeah, he started high school this year. I don't know what high school is like for you guys. It's pretty. But not so much for me. It wasn't. I'm an ex-stripper, so you can imagine my high school experience. I'm a little loose is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of like, you know, happening. And I think about my little baby, you know, and he's like, you know, fear is what comes to mind there. And so I'm like an animal looking for anything high school. I'm like, my ears are up, like, what's going on? And I saw this thing on the news. They said, new trend at local high school, tune in at 11. New trend. New trend when I was in high school was crack. Like, what gets worse than crack? Not a goddamn thing. You're turning to war, you're out on the street. Like, it's a bad afternoon. That's not the orange, it's very good. Anyway. I saw sparkles on everything. Everything. Anyway, I saw hot dogs from a 7-Eleven on it. It's truth be told. Sorry, you come up here and it's like a truth serum. Get in the mic, I'll tell you everything. Yeah. But I did. I tuned in at 11. And what they said was, new trend in local high schools, oral sex. I'm like, blowjobs? Not new! Not new! And I got a boy. And if he can get one, good for him. It's amazing. I think you can't get anyone pregnant that way. I don't know. Rod Stewart with sperm in his stomach. Remember that? That was gross. I don't know. You guys aren't as old as me. No, you're not. No, my son, last year, he's dyslexic, and he went to an all-dyslexic school, which was this really fascinating place in Santa Ana. It's really a great school. But it's very expensive. It is, I'm not going to lie. So that's where stripping came in. But I would drive carpool for the school. You know, I drove a lot of little dyslexic kids around, you know, and I'd be driving in my SUV, and, you know, they all can't read or spell, and they pick on each other. They were like, oh my God, I saw your letter, you can't spell. I'm like, none of you can. They're all dyslexic. Every goddamn last one of you know. But, you know, the kids, they like to talk crap on each other in the car, and they're like, you know, they cuss. They're like, get fucked. I'm like, music's up, can't hear anything. I'm trying to be cool, you know. I'm like the cool stripper mom, you know. I'm like, don't look at that bag in the back. Stilettos and bikinis. Mommy likes to sunbathe in her heels. I don't know. But one day I heard one of the kids say, "He said the N-word." I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta intervene. I'm like, all right, no racial slurs in my car. You know, that's uncalled for. And I hear him say, "I said annoying." Not the N-word. That one's And my son typed up, he goes, yeah, retard, that starts with an E. I pay a lot of money for that school. No, I did pay a lot of money. I'm paying a lot of money for another school now, but how I keep that up is I have this occasional issue with on and off again stripping. Anyone? Anyone? You guys are cute. You can do it! I'm like a stripper pusher. Come on, girl. Come with me. I'll show you the ways. Now, I'm over 35, and alright, I'm 40. When you're 40 and stripping, you just become a little, like, lazy. Like, girls have these cool tricks, and they're so into it. You know, and I would go up, and I'm like, there it is. My cool trick, I'm giving it over. And girls are so cute, they have these names. Like, when you first start stripping, I'll let you guys know this so you can run with it. You have names like sparkles, sapphires, diamonds, rubies, and with all these gems and shit, you know. When you've been doing it a long time, guys go, what's your name? You're like, Carol. Like the fantasy girl next door. Hey guys, thank you. My name's Erin Hart.